advertised during winter time of the year for fall admissions. However, there are advertisements year round, but generally most of them like get advertised this time of the year, around January, February, or something like that. So yeah, next time.
Yeah, so currently I'm part of the EPS Center for Documentary Training in Aerosol Science. I was a master's student in Ramanath's lab. Um, so this is basically a 4-year fully funded PhD program, and this is a bit different from a normal PhD. So this is basically hosted by the University of Bristol. That is, University of Bristol is the parent institution for this, and it has 7 different institutions under that are its partners. Under which I am currently at University of Leeds. Um, so, so this PhD also has an industrial placement. So there are a lot of industries as well as institutes, as you can see here, that are part of this program. And this PhD also gives me an opportunity to do the coursework in aerosol science, which I think our batch did not get a chance to do any aerosol science courses. But here I have like 7 months of training for coursework, and then I'll be moving on to my TBS, that is my thematic government sabbatical, after which I would be starting my PhD. This is my cohort. This is cohort 5 for the aerosol science program. So more about the project. The title of my project is Optimizing the Performance of Air Healing Technology for Mitigation of Infection in Hospital Environments. So I'm working with an industry called Air Sentry, which makes these air healers. And the main objective would be understanding the interaction between the device design and room airflow using the CFD, that is the computational fluid modeling, dynamics modeling, and the methodology would be replica of hospital rooms and like a patient's ward or something, and which would also see some culture of microorganisms, and we would be doing like CLP, the modeling part. And I think the data could also be used for policy making here in the UK. So yeah, over to you, Max.
Yeah, thanks. So, coming to my doctoral training partnership, it's slightly different from what Anushri is. It's called Inspire DTP. Its lead organization is University of Southampton, and there are several hosting partners. These are like research institutes in different subfields of geosciences in the UK. It's National Oceanography Centre, British Antarctic Survey, Natural History Museum, and Marine Biological Association. And there are also a couple of industry partners which are like interdisciplinary projects in engineering and technical fields as well. Next. Okay, so INSPIRE stands for Interdisciplinary Collaborative Partnership for Investigators Researching the Environment. It's funded by the National Environment Research Council, UKRI. Its typical duration is 3.5 years. It can take 4 years, but it depends on the funding and other stuff. Its main scientific themes of the projects that are offered in this CTP are oceans and climate-related subjects and projects. Like themes projects based on dynamic Earth, interaction of organisms with the global environment. It includes two placements. One is a research-based placement globally, and one is a based placement where I have to work with a US government organization for like 3 months and work on research.
What are you doing? John, quickly, John.
Look at
Hello. Can you hear us? Yeah, little. Yeah, we request others to please mute their mics while one person. There's a lot of feedback, sir. Is it better now? Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Okay, so do you want me to just go 2 steps back and repeat it? Yes, sir, please. Or is it? Yeah, shall I continue? Yes, go ahead, Sivat sir. Go ahead, please, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, it includes two placements. One is research based, where I can work on any like global institute, like work in any global institute that's relevant to my project. And then there's a policy based internship within the UK, where I get to work with a government institute in the UK on policy research. And we get also get opportunity to go to research cruises to Svalbard, Western Antarctic, and Greenland. So yeah, for more details, you can just Google Inspire DTP UK. You'll get the site, or you can scan the QR codes. Next. Okay, coming to my project title is Ocean Influence in Recent Climate Extremes, where particularly the object of the project is particularly look at genesis and evolution of ocean temperature and salinity anomalies, and try to link them with recent climate extremes and changes in circulation patterns. The methodology broadly involves analysis of high-resolution global climate models using Lagrangian techniques, force balances, or idealized attribution experiments, etc. We haven't got the chunk of it yet. I just started and I've been here for 4 months. So we're still going through the literature review and trying to do some initial analysis on some climate model data that we already available, and we hopefully will run some modeling tests and experiments pretty soon this summer. Next. So as you can know, things are heating up, ocean is heating up, and we just recorded a record high temperature. So, next. The southern ocean and the northern hemisphere oceans haven't been this hot in quite a while, and there are a lot of feedback mechanisms involved that affect the intensity and frequency of recent climate extremes, that have affected the intensity frequency of recent climate extremes. And it's still quite unclear what exactly is happening. Whether it can only be attributed to internal climate variability, or there is something else happening within the ocean or in the subsurface of the ocean that's triggering these events and all this. So currently, I'm looking at vertical asymmetry and diversity of El Niño Southern Oscillation. This is a large-scale uh, inter-annual oscillation in the equatorial Pacific, and using high-resonance climate models done by the Met Office here in the UK. I have been doing some analysis and trying to make sense of it in these models. Okay, next. Thank you, Stuart, sir. So, yeah. You have more slides? These are some of, just a few more, I think. Yeah, these are just some of the pictures that I've taken in the UK. We have WhatsApp's picture, and I think one thing to highlight here is with WhatsApp, you can see Sai Zopi, who is just joined University of Southampton in January. She's an EES alumni from our batch. This was a pleasant surprise to me. I didn't expect anyone from my show to join immediately, but yeah, nice. Yeah, so these are our LinkedIn profiles, and just for an ending note, I think I want to say there's something for everybody out there. You just need to find it, because even like in aerosol science, I thought it was like very small category, but once I see here and the program that I am in, it has so different variants of aerosol science that I did not even imagine of. So if you think the thing that was told from the very start, that yes, that interdisciplinary thing, I think that if you just search in the right way, you will get what you want. So just keep doing what you are doing. Yeah, just want to quickly mention something. I forgot to mention this. I I would also like to thank. I work with Professor in my masters, and that really actually shaped my interest in oceanography. His research is not like concentrated in oceanography, but I was able to do a project on that in collaboration with another professor, which he gracefully agreed to. And the whole master's experience molded my like interest towards PhD and the project that I'm doing. So thank you for that, and also of course the courses that we did in ISER that really helped us in different ways. Uh, we are now like 4 months into our PhD, and we are able to see some sort of like learnings that we got from our PSMS translating into our PhD work. So that's really nice to know. And yeah, like you said, also a lot of opportunities for it. You to get target to do any writer I'm smarter than that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, thank you, Shivatsa. Thank you, Anushi. Krishanu, would you like to say a few words? Yeah, all again. Uh, yeah, some disturbances from your end. Seems. Faculty members again, because my career was a little bit different than the. Can you hear me?
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Hello.
Sir, I think there is a network issue from your side.
Is it better now? Yeah, hello. Go ahead, go ahead. You can switch off your video if you want and then speak. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, we can hear you better. Yeah. My teacher, gratitude to all the faculty members here. Uh, yeah, especially because my career was a little different from the other people. This is professor. So I did my master from Jaipur and then followed it up by IIT Bombay. And then I joined the oil and gas industry. Company was shared. And then I came back to academia under the supervision of Dr. Jyoti Modi at ISER. And that was really a very fun time and a very enriching time for me. Yes. And I can see all the faces now again, and I feel happy again. I don't have any presentation as such, but two key aspects that I can say about my experience, because right now I am again back to industry, and I am after PhD I joined Halliburton, another oil and gas company, and then I shifted to here oil and gas. Because it was Vedanta. And the two key aspects that I would like to share is really in terms of integration. So one is in your GSLS studies, you will find different subjects, different coursework, and you may focus and I like something and focus on that subject alone. But actually, in the practical life, there is a huge scope of integration of all these subjects. So, for example, my industry, right now I am working in a project where I see the soft rock or the sedimentary rock. They are actually deposited at some time, and we need to get the crude out of it. And what happened after their formation, the EES activity took place and took the whole formation in a different state, just structurally distorted. And now, so that what that means is EES activity we need to know about something about what happens that why this happens, what is the role of that EES activity uh, that had an impact on the quality of my sediments and the oil field. So they apparently seems like a unrelated subject. I don't have talked about that. But when I do real application, I see that it's directly related and we need to understand both of them. The other thing about integration that I would like to share that, especially in terms of focused research, there is a huge scope of integration between industry and academia, especially in our in India. Because in during my study stay at as a vocal, I realized I have so much time to think about what can I do, what can I make based out of whatever data I have, and I can peacefully uh, find some solution. But when you come to industry, you have to do the same thing maybe in 5 6 months, and here you have too much data and every software, everything is available, but the time frame is very short, and you don't have too much time to think a lot and you have to deliver your results. So for BFM students, I would like to say that don't please don't think that you can go to research or you can go to industry and just separately. They are highly connected. There is a huge scope of connection, and I can see that it's increasing. And especially as a vocal is taking this step ahead, as I know from my lab. So Dr. Jyotirmay Malik also is doing some many things to collaborate with the industry. So they bridge this gap, and we have win-win situation for all of us. So it's great to see that many of us are doing PhD after DSMS. Many of us are abroad, and some of us in India, and many of us are in the industry as well. So that's the two key things that I see and say. It is very fun. I hope you will enjoy your either life, and it is there is huge scope of that your research, whatever field you want to choose. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Ishanu. Hipzul, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, sir. So don't want to present like slide wise because I haven't prepared for that. Already, you people are listening to many speakers and the presentation going on. So first of all, the esteemed faculty members, fellow learners, and PhD and PSMS students, good morning to all of you. I would like to express my gratitude to all of the organizers, especially our HOD, Dr. Melissa, for organizing this annual meet, and especially for inviting us to communicate virtually with all of you. It is with great honor and enthusiasm that I got this opportunity to meet to all of you. Currently, I am a research associate at Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology in Dehradun, Uttarakhand, and I obtained my doctorate in July 2022 from ISER Bhopal, where I resided for 5 years, more than 5 years you can say, from 2017 to 2022. My doctoral thesis dealt with the evolution of paleoproterozoic tectonic landmass of Himalayas associated with the formation of the Columbia supercontinent and related origins. So I used a different methodology to do my research. Like I used STEM and EPMA based result chemistry. I made the PT0 section with the help of my mentor, Nasipuri, and then I did the monocyte institute analysis with the help of EPMA, and I helped as a member, and I had to get you because we don't have a EPMA. So I hope that we will have the EPMA in future. So these data was supported by conventional, that is geochemical data, and in situ reservoirs, uranium that certain geology. So during that time, I not only gained a PhD research experience, but I also acquired numerous life lessons from the various faculties in our department. I'm also indebted to the entire faculty of this department for their invaluable instruction, teachings, guidance. So after completing my doctoral studies, I had the privilege of joining ISA Berhapur as a postdoctoral research fellow in 2022 itself when I completed my PhD.
where I was the primary instructor of teacher of pedagogy and methodology to BSMS student for 2 whole semesters because we didn't have any kind of instruments and department was new. However, my passion for research eventually led me back to the Himalayas, and I got selected in Bali Institute of Himalayan Geology as a research associate, where I am engaged in further exploration and research, you can say, in this fascinating Himalayan field. Here I am working on the metamorphic evolution of ultra high pressure rocks and high pressure rocks like duoxides and Bruce's metamorphism from the Sikkim Himalayas, considering the middle chemistry which I have done from my mentor and myself, PT Pseudo section, geochemistry and geology. So these are my works in Himalayan geology. If you guys want to do your summer intern or you want to do PhD in Himalayan geology, you can obviously join Guardia Institute of Himalayan Geology because it's one of the best institute for the Himalayan research. So it was from all my side. Thank you for inviting me, sir.
Uh, Thank you, Hibzu. May I now request El Daho to speak, please? You can highlight what you are doing now.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Selvo, and first of all, I would like to thank all of you for inviting me to this particular talk and to get to be talking to the university institutions. So I was actually doing my BSMS from 2014 to 2019 at Expo, but in fact, in the Department of Physics, actually. But I'm here because I did my MS thesis at University Mostly an application course of International College. So I was there for 1.5 years in the lab. 1 year as doing MS thesis and another 6 months as the project assistant actually. So during my, of course, I can't talk more about the process of the department because since I was part of the department, probably I'm the only one who is was not officially part of the department currently. But the timing in the GMA group was really good, and that's what basically prompted me to do a PhD in the same field. And right now, for my MSc side, I was actually doing atmospheric transport modeling of greenhouse gases over India. So it was basically about kind of making a network of atmospheric measurement stations across India using a Lagrangian transport model for scale. And I did my research there, and also the current PhD that I'm doing right now at the Max Planck Institute for Biochemistry in Germany. This is also actually in collaboration with the GMA group in Hyderabad. Right now, my PhD title is basically connecting gas budget of Indian subcontinent. And I haven't made any presentation yet, I'm sorry about that, but I'll try to explain very briefly. So, in our group, what we try to do is something called an atmospheric inversion. So, we want to know more information about the greenhouse gas fluxes in the atmosphere, either it be carbon dioxide or methane or any other phases. So, the only real data that we have are the actual observations from throughout the world, for class measurements. So in an atmospheric inversion, what we tend to do is that with the help of an atmospheric transport model, it can be a Eulerian model, it can be a Lagrangian model. Still is one such Lagrangian model that I was using. I'm still using it. So with the help of the real observation, we tend to constrain or we tend to have a better knowledge about the prior process or the fluxes of carbon dioxide or methane that we have. So for this purpose, in India, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of measurements, so we had to rely on some artificial measurements for our initial studies. And right now, I'm also part of something called community inversion framework. So, inversion community is pretty big when it comes to the people in India also doing it in Europe, US. So, it's kind of a collaborative with a lot of institutes to bring together almost all the parameters of community, of inversion community into one simple framework. And I'm actually tasked with implementing the skills model into which is done now, and I'm currently doing some research with it. I don't have much slides to present, and I won't also go into much technical details about my work, and I would be happy to take questions, of course. But in terms of the PhD, I would say that it was, I mean, being an alumni advisor really helps you to get a PhD position abroad. The thing is that right now I'm seeing a lot of PhDs here at my city, and I can definitely say that around 60% of the people that I meeting are definitely from any places. I think most people who are doing their PhD abroad can maybe say the same. So it really helps you, and also the research that is being carried out in many of the labs, and even heard from other colleagues also that the infrastructure that we have at Bhopal is sometimes even much better than the ones that we have in the labs that we have here. So definitely, all the experience that you have in Bhopal, it can definitely help you to get a PhD there in airport. And when it comes to the PhD that I have, it's actually from Max Planck Institute, and they have this graduate school. It's called International Max Planck School for Research, IMPRS, and there are actually different Max Planck institutes. So the current institute that we have is mainly focused on atmospheric science or earth science, but there are multiple institutes in different fields. There are 80 institutes all around Germany, and each institute have their own graduate school programs, and usually they have two windows, one in fall and one in winter, in which they open their project and apply for those projects. Then there will be an online interview, then there will be an interview in person here at the institute, and then they will take you the PhD certificate. And so that's how I got in to the program. And my funding is also so many more PhDs here in Germany. They usually have an employment contract, so they mainly treated as employees, but if you are enrolled at the university, you are considered as student. I can talk about it if there's an discussion coming up. But my primary funding source is through the DAT scholarship. So after admitting to the program, I was given a DAT scholarship. I can talk more about that scholarship if you like. I mean, there are further details. That's actually one alternative for a lot of people, and I also know a lot of people who can actually directly apply to DAD with their proposals. So you can put up a PhD proposal of let's say 10 or pages, and then that will look into it, and they will give you funding. So these can be very useful in situations in which the organization that was into that you want to do your PhD in the opportunity, and you can have a funding by yourself. So there are a lot of ways by which you can apply for a PhD in Germany. Yeah, mainly these are through the open projects that have been offered at least twice a year for most of the graduate schools. And not just Max Planck, there are a lot of institutes. There are institutes, organizations like Elmos or Leibniz or Fraunhofer, and these institutes offer a lot of graduate school programs. Also, all the universities here in Germany, they also offer these programs, and of course, all these are free. And yeah, and in terms of living in Germany, yeah, I'm thinking that it's a good place of live for, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, also the fact that a lot of our batchmates are also, or seniors and juniors are doing PhD here in Europe, and it's of course nice to catch with a lot of people that European, so we can decide to go at some point. And I would also like to quote what Gopal said, life is good now, but life was definitely better in Gopal, of course. So yeah, so I think most people can agree on that, and yeah, so the PhD is still going on, and hopefully I'll be finishing it soon. And if you have more questions about the work that I'm doing, or questions about life or PhD application procedures, I'm happy to answer. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Peter. I think most of the people have not heard your introduction. So if you can keep it slightly brief, that will be great as well, so that we have enough time for interactions as well. First of all, why are you wearing a mask? Again. Okay, better. You are muted.
Yeah, I am muted.
You were. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so myself, actually, I have already.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, you keep it because most of the people have not heard about you. So,
Okay.
yeah, just keep
My,
it brief, 2, 3 lines, yeah.
Yeah, myself, Vikram, and currently I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Geology, Ireland, Guwahati. So basically, I used to teach most of the students that are belong to undergraduate students. There is no masters right now. But currently, also I'm doing some work, research work, and basically I'm working in Himalaya, in Himalaya, because I have experience in that area. I have did a lot of work recently. So, and apart from that, I want to say for BSNS students, if you want to really work in hard work, basically Himalaya is very interesting because nowadays very every people, most of the people are working in this field, Himalaya, from apart from geology, like in different other branches of also working in this region. So you can select your problem in this Himalayan region. You can work on it. So it is very interesting. In Arunachal Himalaya is very interesting because it is not explored. Most of the other part of the Himalaya, like in yeah, Nepal, Bhutan, and this Egypt, Bhutan, Ladakh, and those areas, these are already explored by many scientists. But Arunachal Himalaya is very important because it is very firstly it is remote and also the access is very limited and the vegetation is very dense. Means the roads are very scary and narrow and you have to means it is a trail means if you visit Arunachal then you find how beautiful it is. And obviously in terms of geology there are a lot of schools in this area. So I am working in the high-grade rocks, basically metasedimentary rocks from the Himalaya, and actually I'm working the problems when this rock has they are formed uh, and what is the timing of the what is the pressure temperature condition, what is the timing of the formation of the rocks, and also we want to we look for correlation between these rocks and different origin events. So I really like logs, and that's why still I'm working in this field. And that was from my side, and not much to say.
Thank you very much. So, Victor is our first PhD student from the department. Okay, so now we can open the session for questions and answers. Yeah, especially from the students. If anyone asks, anyone wants to ask any question to your alumni, yeah, so one question.
Good morning to all of you. I have a general question.
You can introduce yourself if they cannot recognize you.
This is Majid here, Gannu, as my seniors know me, Dikran Bhaiya and Bhaiya. So I have a question that what changed with when you move from a PhD to postdoc? What is the thing that really changed?
Yeah, either Deepton or Hibzul, one of you can take this question. I think you two are doing both. I mean, yeah. I think Hibzul is the question for Hibzul. Deepton is more of our colleague now.
Means you can just expand your research. You can choose a project. You can write a project where you can do more research independently. That is the most important change. Means there is not much dependency. You can do independent research. You can write your papers your own, and also means you can expand your horizons in the research. Also, you can collaborate to somebody to do the research. It's just one step ahead towards your like future research, nothing else.
What he actually means that you don't have to listen to your supervisor.
No, it depends on supervisor. Students also. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, any more question? Students? Thank you. Anmol, you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
So good morning everyone. Thank you for your inspirational presentation. I would like to ask Hildo Bhaiya, could you elaborate more about that scholarship?
Yeah, sure. There are actually two ways in which you can get a tax scholarship. So one, as I said, mine was a bit different. I applied directly to the graduate school of the next month, and they selected me first, and then they told me to apply for this that fellowship called GHSP. This is something in which the institute actually nominates you to the DAT in case in case the institute have a lot of funds. So this is sort of an indirect way to get a DAT scholarship. You need to directly go to the graduate school. But the other way in which a lot of Indians comes here is actually that if you have a basic idea by yourself, and then maybe you can contact a guide at some of the universities or institutes, and then you can talk about your ideas. But probably it's possible that the person or the supervisor in the foreign institute doesn't have funds for mutual fees. In that case, what you can do is that you can write a proposal to that. I think the request to be minimum of 10 pages or something like that. And you need to basically showcase what your motivation is, or if you have a plan for the PhD, you can do it. You can talk to your hosting institute supervisor, and you can come up with a plan for template proposal, and then you can send it to that, and then they will listen to your proposal, and if they like it, probably there's an interview process also from that, and then if they are convinced, they will be a. So this is how a lot of people comes here. At least in our institute, there's no one who is like that. But in one of our neighboring institutes, it's actually an institute where they do chemical ecology. I know at least 4 or 5 people who are directly who came through this process with directly from the lab. So that's how that works. But there are also advantages and disadvantages when it comes to this. So as I said, in Germany, most PhDs are given an employment contract, and but for the case of that, it's a scholarship, which means the money that you get are not taxable. And the additional thing is that the payment that gives is much less than what a normal PhD gets. So in my case at least, since it's directly to the institute, the institute gives me some additional funding. But for people who has only a that scholarship, it means that there will be a bit of a financial disparity when it comes to the other PhDs in your department or who are getting funding from this. So that's one thing that you need to take care of. But that's the case. When if there's no other funding for other options, then of course that is a very nice alternative. And yeah, it's definitely good for your CV. Also, that you are a tax opportunity. Yeah, so this is how we should do it. That you should come to the proposal, and it doesn't need to be that you need to write all proposal by yourself. You can also talk to the supervisor who is there, who is willing to take you, and yeah, so that's how the work process goes. You can find more information on this on the data websites, and also this if you just Google that PhD database, then you will find a website in which they lists a lot of PhD projects in Germany. It's not an associate list and not necessarily related to that, but you can filter through the keywords if you maybe research geology, then you will find PhD projects which is related to the field. So yeah, so just to run through that website, you will find a lot of information there.
Okay, thank you. Any other question from faculty members as well? Yes, go ahead.
So just one comment here that things that is true what he said is absolutely true. So there are two options. One is the student-led that fellowship that you can use their that website, so they have newly divided the options also. Another is actually for faculty members, so we can get a project and then we can host with our institute. It is more about a bilateral exchange for the faculty members. So we can get that fellowship, that project back, and then that institute can host that students for the PhD. And that is, I felt that is also very nice opportunity for getting a PhD student that can work on topics that interest both country, globally and also. But other fellowships, there are more fellowship options from the DAD and also from Massland, and there is also from Humboldt. So you can try for those kind of fellowships. So there, like in the website, that website is more or less very robust.
Okay, thanks. Any more questions from? Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself as well so that they can recognize you.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi everyone. Myself Jidip. Some of you may remember Gopal, Srivatsa, and Eldo, of course, Anishi. Yeah.
Got brothers in arms.
So, Gopal, saw your email and you are keeping ISRB with you till now, right? Gopal16 ISRB at gmail.com.
It will have with me all my life.
So, what I felt after coming here is like ISR, institute like ISR. So, there are students from different parts of India and abroad also. So, you are having a cultural mixing here. So I would like to know how this cultural mixing kind of thing, and you cope up with that, has helped you when you went abroad. Like, although you can explain how it is in Europe, and Taiwan, Gopal, you can explain, and so many people are there. So how this cultural mixing, or like how you cope up with this cultural difference after going abroad?
So we will let Gopal answer this question.
Okay, sure. So Taiwan is in East Asia, but there are not lot of Indians. So I got to meet a lot of other foreigner friends, and so the major problem that I faced was regarding the food. The food was entirely different from I was used to the mess food, and the food here was totally different. They eat raw and boiled food, so they eat very plain food. So there is no spice at all. So I didn't know how to cook because we had less food there in Exeter Bhopal. So if you want to come to this region like in Taiwan or in East Asia, so you need to know how to cook if you want to have the Indian masala food. Rest, I was involved in extracurricular activities, so I made a lot of friends. So I used to play badminton. So yeah, it wasn't very hard for me. Just the food part, I struggled a bit, but right now it's okay for me.
Anyone else wants to chip in very briefly? Any other alumni?
Maybe one thing that I can add, it's of course the places. So for me, food was not a problem because I like to eat a lot of food. So that's another thing. But in Germany, one of the main problem is with the language because as a PhD, you don't need to definitely know the language to finish a PhD. But for your basic day-to-day life, it's good to have a good knowledge about some of the language and all the formal communications with the foreign office or sometimes that not with that means it sometimes happens in German and then and if you need to make a phone call to go to a hospital or something, this needs to be done in German. This I felt a bit not stressful, but a little bit hard was English, then it's much better, of course. That's one thing in terms of cultural integrity, but the rest of the things, I mean, the people here are very nice. They are very open to open conversations and recognize it. And yeah, so the language was one of the main barriers probably, and also the fact that you tend to meet a lot of people from different parts of the world and who has different ideologies, who think a lot of different in terms of research or in terms of life aspects. So it's good to have a lot of inputs in your life. Probably. So it's
Anushi or Sivas? Anushi or Sivas? Or both?
You want to go ahead? Sure. So yeah, coming to the UK, it was slightly, it was not much of a culture shock because language wasn't a problem. Food was a problem. Food is pretty bland here. The British did a lot of things, but they forgot to put spice in their food. So we joke about that every day. Whether, yeah, it can be a bit gloomy, but there are some funny days.
But you get chicken tikka masala in every alternate restaurants in. Chicken tikka masala is the national food there, no?
You don't know how to.
Still, they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, weather-wise, it's getting better now. Winter was a little bit depressing because it was all gloomy and not that much sun. But now it's really better than last month. Yeah. Looking forward to summer in British summer. So otherwise, yeah, the people are really nice. It's still a lot of cultural differences from where they come from where brought a lot of our values and culture and how we speak and stuff like that. But it took a month or maybe less than a month for me to slightly like, try to understand and get used to. And now I think we are well settled in and it's going great. So Manish, you can add a few more points.
Yeah, I think coming abroad for a PhD from myself is a very good transition because we're always surrounded with people, even in the lab, you have like so many people to talk to. And as soon as you move abroad, you're like just alone in your zone all the time. I think me and Vatsa had like just each other for 1 month because we did not know anybody and it was quite daunting. But like it was that time when we used to call each other every day and be like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" That was the time. But yeah, I think after a few days, after a few months, things got better, and I think yeah, things are going well now.
Great. So, any more questions? Faculty members.
Let them be in peace. They've had all the questions they want from us.
Any?
Maybe can I add one more thing about the last question?
So, Sivas, how are you doing?
Sivas, you have a question. You have a.
Hello? Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
He doesn't know the answer. He's just concerned about what the follow-up is going to be.
Yeah, so you can get
Yeah. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, I only heard what you're doing. Just one thing on fooding. I think at least in London, I know there are very good restaurants and you get very good Indian taste. Maybe there you have to find a little bit more R&D. Maybe a little bit more R&D. I have seen people sitting on Katia in the London and then eating chole bhature. So that we don't even see in Mumbai. So you don't just do a little bit more R&D. And do other
That's the weekend R&D.
And I also know you're working on motion learning. There are now models which are running at 2 global models. So there is Italian group, AVI is doing in Germany, and UK is also trying to do this. So it will be good for you to do those and get most of them. So, kilometer, 3 kilometer ocean. And just do the report.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Sir, actually, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello.
I don't think they can see you. You can come here and use this mic. Introduce yourself as well.
Still not.
No,
Right.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Niharika Singh, and I'm currently a third year BSMS student. So, as a BSMS student, my main concern is getting an internship or like figuring out what I have to do or not. So, if you or anyone of you like to give any advice, yes. And also, I had one more question, like how important it is to get an international internship and at which layer it is.
So the first question, Kishan, would you like to answer?
Yeah, there's three companies I can say who are looking for interns, especially in oil and gas. Right now, we are running short of taken. Few days back, I took interview of the interns. Unfortunately, most of them are from IITs, and we are trying here to expand it to other cities as well. But I suggest please have a LinkedIn account even if you are first year, and try to share them. So I know Shell is lots of the time DP, British Petroleum has opened a company in right now in Pune, and many other companies are desperately looking for the people now. Please increase your visibility through different social sites. And if I can do anything, I definitely contact directly with
Thanks, Kishan. The second part of your question was? So international internship, maybe again, Anushi or Sivats, you guys, or anyone, or Eldo, if you had any experience of taking international. Yeah, Eldo, go ahead.
I don't have any experience because it was international inventions were not a thing that doing our time myself. But one thing that I found that so last year I did a research stay in one of the institutes in Paris, and there I actually saw a few people who were doing at the end of their fourth year and doing their the 3 month internship in Paris, and this was actually funded by that. So that's when I got to know that people these days maybe you probably will know much better than me right now. That you are eligible to apply for, but they were doing biology. I'm not sure how it is with the particular field. But of course, there are options, at least in the site website of the tag in which you can apply for a 3 month internship and it contribute very I don't have a lot of details about it. I just know that people have done this and there are some IT opinions. That's all I know. So maybe we can look it up in the website of DAT and we will find more information. And this will be a nice opportunity for to get a flavor of how the research is done abroad, and it will also gives you an exposure about whether we will be able to do a PhD in a foreign country or not, or whether the group is really good or not. And also, I mean, as I said, in one of the neighboring institute, I've seen at least one girl from ISA Premium and another one from ISA Kolkata, who did their final MS thesis also at the part there. So basically, they came for an internship and then they ended up doing their MS thesis, and one of them are right now enrolled there for a PhD. So this is really a great opportunity in terms of so before that applying for a PhD, maybe try taking some international internship if it's possible, and for the funding opportunities, probably that website would be a nice opportunity. At least in Germany, I don't know about the rest of the countries. So maybe we can go on there.
Yeah, Sivats, if you want to add a few words, but please keep it brief. We are coming to an end. Yeah.
Yes. So I got a chance to do a internship abroad after my fourth year in Canada. I did it through my tax GRI. You must be aware of that, or you must have heard it somewhere. I'd say there are multiple like programs and funding opportunities for do an internship right before your master's or even after your third year. International internship experience does really help give you a perspective of how things are done abroad, outside of India, and it broadens your network and helps you understand things that you wouldn't have got hands-on experience necessarily in ICER itself. And I would strongly suggest pursuing. I wouldn't say that you have to do only abroad internship or anything like that. You have to do internships because they are hands-on experiences which are really important other than your coursework. But you should try for all the different options and do get as much experience as you hold the direct that will help decide what to do. PSTSD or how you PSTSD. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. We will conclude the session, but with a final word of blessings from Professor Tendon. And
indeed, very nice to see all of you. Thank you, sir. I was hoping I'll come in earlier, but I couldn't make it to be with you through the entire discussions. We are always with you, and we also expect that you will always be to the future generations that sit behind me over here. They look forward not only to our guidance, but I think the combined guidance of our alumni and the feeling of oneness that gets promoted through this interaction is extremely important. It so holds us together, and it's very important that we sustain a healthy alumni network, right? So ISER has been your home for 5 years, and so that is an unforgettable part of your growth in academics and in your career. And we look forward to continued interaction with all of you. With my love and blessings.
Yeah.
Aldo.
Thank you.
Aldo.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Regards to Aldo.
Sir, good. My choice is Mr. Good.
So that means you are surviving there, right?
Yeah, you can survive. Yeah, I mean, you can take German lessons, the basic ones, you can survive there, but when you go to the more.
So regarding the internship, I just got to add something more. So like somebody has said about the DAG internship. So similar to that, there is also Max Planck internships. So that is opportunity from the Max Planck Society. So our DRR office will consolidate those internships opportunities, and then we will send it to the students so you can grab those benefits.
Okay. All right. So we come to an end to this session. Let's give a big round of applause for our alumni.
Sir, I have to request to all the faculty members, especially Jyoti sir.
Yes, sir.
If at all feasible, sir, please organize conferences or workshop. Of course, it will be in future, given that our department is equipped with extraordinary faculty members who possess a wide range of experience in the space. This is a small request.
No, absolutely. We will. The RDS conference is going to be organized in ISER Bhopal. You know about RDS and Rock Deformation and Structure. So, of course, your work is closely related to structure and deformation tectonics.
Yes.
Please submit your abstract, and we will love to have you here. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, from the department, on behalf of the department, actually, I wish all of you a very bright future, and I wish you also all the best for whatever you are doing. And our true rewards as faculties is seeing our students successful. There is no better reward than that. Okay. With that, I really thank you very much for taking out time, and also in odd hours for few of you. Okay. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best students.
You can.
Thanks for everyone.
You could have spoken to each other. They wanted to.
So everyone can go out for tea.